Hey everybody, it's St. Patrick's Day. Kian Egan is here with us at Sun HQ for a live web chat, and his new album Home is out today. Thanks for coming in, Kian.
Thank you very much, Jennifer O'Brien. Look at you and your suave little set in the Sun website, huh?
You're my very first guest, so
I'm going to be really tough.
No, be nice, please be nice. You've had a busy couple of days, even today. What time were you up at? Lots of promo.
I was up this morning at about 4:30 a.m. to fly back from Dublin.
Okay.
I was performing on This Morning on ITV, and then I was straight to BBC One to do a cycle thing with Grimmy.
How did that go? How's he getting on?
He said he had a very sore bum and a very sore back.
Right.
And he didn't look very happy.
So he must have been like 5 or 6 hours in when you got there.
He was 6.5 hours into it, I think, when I sat down with him to do it. But,
right.
You know, fair play to him, I have to say. You know, he's doing very, very well. So.
Do you think he's going to make it?
Yeah, I think, you know, when you know psychologically something like that you've got to do it, you'll do it.
Okay.
You know, it's normal.
How are you feeling here, sitting by yourself without the lads? You've got your own album out, single out. It must be feeling a little bit strange.
It's a little bit weird, I have to say. But, you know, for me, I just never expected to be doing it. Like, you know, I mean, you know me a very long time, and when I was in Westlife, my attitude was always like, you know, whatever's best for the band, let's just make it happen, let's just get it right, you know. I wasn't really ever concentrating on myself. I was always just kind of looking at it as a group and, you know, what was best for the group. So I suppose doing this on my own now has kind of, you know, a lot of things are, like, I'm really starting to realise, you know, how difficult it is on your own and how lonely it is. It's quite, I don't mean to sound all cryy, but, you know, like, you're just travelling a lot on your own, and you know, when you're not sharing a stage with somebody, it's quite different. So it's just, the whole thing is just a bit mad. But I mean, I'm really enjoying it, but it's just a bit mad. I'm kind of like floating through it at the minute, kind of not really paying too much attention to what I'm doing.
Right. Well, just you probably should pay attention.
No, but you know what I mean. Like, I'm just trying to get it over. Like, you know, like the album comes out today, and it's like, you know, it's been all a big build up to this moment today, and tomorrow's going to come, and the next day is going to come, so I'm just trying to take it like that, you know, just take it day by day for the next few weeks.
And if something goes wrong, you know, you've done a couple of live performances now, do you find yourself looking around for Shane and Mark and kind of...
Well, you know, I think the reason, you know, my first ever live performance was on Friday night in Ireland, and, you know, I was really nervous, and, you know, I look back in the performance, I wasn't happy with it. I was like, you know, the nerves got the best of me.
Right.
But, you know, I think you have to go through that process in order to get to where you were, you know, in comparison to what I did this morning on This Morning. I don't know, I felt like they were miles apart, and that's just through pure and utter experience. And, you know, I mean, I suppose I threw myself in the deep end, didn't I? You know, solo album, live TV performances, you know, the whole shebang within a few weeks. And, you know, and I haven't really had a huge amount of time to prepare for it. Like, you know, I've literally just gone, boom, let's go. That's
probably the best way to do it.
Probably, or not.
Right, we've got a first question from an Irish person, which is good. It's Nessa. It's Nessa from Cork, and she wants to know, when was the last time all 4 of the Westlife boys were together? Is it still Croke Park, nearly 2 years ago?
The day after Croke Park. Right. Yeah, that was the last time we were all together. I saw Nikki on Saturday. I saw Mark before Christmas. I haven't seen Shane at all since the end of the band. We've been texting and tweeting and all that type of stuff, but I haven't physically seen him. But I think I'm going to be seeing him in a few weeks, hopefully. So, yeah, no, we haven't been together at all. It's quite weird.
Yeah, do you think fans are finding that a little bit strange? Like, there's no underlying
I think the best way,
or anything.
The best way for me to explain it to people is, imagine you grow up together with your brothers and sisters, and then you all go to college and you go your own ways. That's what Westlife was like. It was like we were growing up together, and now we're all off of college, or we're all gone off into the real world. We'll get back together for a weekend and have a few beers at some point, and it'll be like stepping into the same room that we were in yesterday together. You know, it's very much like a brother relationship in that way. You know, I haven't seen my other brother since Christmas, my real brother since Christmas. But, you know, the second I see him, it's just normal. It's just perfectly normal. Like.
Do you think your decision to go solo would have surprised them, or what's been their feedback?
They've been very positive.
Yeah.
I do think at first they probably would have been like, really? Oh, okay. But then, you know, they know the type of character that I am. They know I'm the type of character to kind of like go for it regardless, you know. I'm that's so. I think they were probably a little bit surprised at first, but then, you know, I think when they sat back and thought about it, they probably went, actually, it probably makes a lot of sense that he's doing it, you know.
Did you send them all a copy of the album yet?
No. Mark sent me a text last night after my performance on The Voice of Ireland, and he was like, so proud of you, well done, looking great, sounding great, brilliant vocals, you know, things like that. So that was really sweet of him. You know, Shane was tweeting about my album today, and me and Nikki saw each other on Saturday. So honestly, the support is really, really strong for each other. You know,
brilliant.
It's really nice.
That's good to hear. Okay, we've got another question from Anika Filan is her name, and it's at Shane.
It's not
Filan.
really Anika Filan, is it? Anika, your name isn't really Filan, is it?
So she wants to know which song from the debut album Home is your favourite?
There's a song called I'll Be, and that at the minute is my current favourite song. I mean, the thing is, I'm only living with this album probably about 3 weeks, so it's been finished in about 3 weeks, even though it's in the shops now. So I'm kind of still, you know, falling out of love with some songs and falling in love with other ones, because I'm, you know, they're all still, you know, the finished versions are still new enough to me. So, but number 6, I'll Be, is kind of like really standing out for me at the minute. Okay. I think it's a great song.
Tell us a little bit about that song.
Well, that song is a song that I've been listening to for about 10 years. Right. And it's originally by a guy called Edwin McCain, an American singer. And it was a huge hit in America, I think in 99 or 96, something like that. It's kind of like he's an old rocky style, kind of like pop rock singer. And it was just a song that was sitting on my iPod for years. And I was just like, you know, I suggested it to the label, and they were like, yeah, this is a great song. And I don't know, I just love it. I just think it's one of them songs that once you hear it, it just rings in your head over and over. And it's not one of them annoying ones. It's a song that's actually quite a good song that you don't mind singing in your head over and over. Okay.
I know you said, you said it's only been done for 3 weeks. Did you ever feel it was being a little bit rushed to get it out there, or are you quite happy you've had enough time? I think, to be honest with you, I don't think it was rushed. I think we just knew the time scale. So in a way, it stopped us from messing around too much. I think when you make an album, you can mess around. You know, we sat on we've 10 songs in this album, and when we first sat down to talk about song choices and stuff like that, there was 25 songs on the list. And we tried a few, and we recorded more than 10. But, I kind of feel like the 10 songs that are on this album all are great songs. They're all produced very well. There's nothing rushed about the production on them or the vocals on them. But, so, we got rid of the ones that I didn't like. If we were to really, really rush it, everything that I didn't like probably would have ended up on there. Yeah. So, even though it was done fast, I mean, Westlife have made albums this quick as well. Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which one?
Allow Us to Be Frank was probably done in about 3 weeks.
Wow, okay.
Different albums. It depends. If you're working with one producer, you can really just lock yourself in for a few weeks and get it done. But I remember Allow Us to Be Frank being really fast. I remember World of Our Own being quite quick as well. Okay. Again, we did most of that album with one producer,
Right. Okay, I got a bit of a fright there. It's from Jodie Albert, Denmark. So at Love Jodie Albert, obviously a fan of Jodie's here. She said, would you do any more music with Jodie if given the chance? Of course, you've got a duet on Home.
Yeah, we have a duet on the album. I don't know, I think the whole me and Jodie doing stuff together is all very new at the minute. It's all very we're getting asked to do an awful lot of stuff together, and we're both kind of going, okay, this is really cool that we're getting to work together and we're having a laugh, but is it a little bit cheesy? Is it all a bit much, Kian and Jodie everywhere we go?
Yeah, because I know you said you're a bit worried about comparisons with Peter, Andre and Jordan.
Yeah, I'm kind of over that.
It could never have been that bad, whatever.
Well, no, it's just the idea, isn't it? It's like, well, I think we're trying to tear up the rule book and all this type of stuff and just go, you know what, sod it all, let's just do whatever, let's just have a bit of fun. I think that's the main kind of attitude that we both have at the minute, is like, you know what, all of this is just fun. I mean, I know it's obviously very serious, but all the stuff that we're doing at the minute is stuff that we never expected to be doing, especially after Westlife. So I think, we're just taking it in our stride. So the answer is I really don't know to the question. And the answer is there's no plans at the minute, and there's no plans to not do anything at the minute. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like a bit of a shuffle.
How is it recording together? Did you get a bit,
we didn't
narky with each other? You didn't record with each other?
No, we didn't record with each other because the way it all worked out was I was definitely cutting that song regardless whether it was going to be a duet or whether it was going to be on my own. And we were half debating to approach a few people for a duet, and the piano player, who is actually, any A1 fans out there, is Mark from A1 on my album. He played all the piano.
We had them in here recently.
Yeah, because he's a session musician as well as just being a member of A1. So he came out and he was like, "So you're going to do this song with your lovely wife, Chowdy," or whatever the way he said it. And I was like, "No, I don't think so. I don't think so." And then, but the record label guy jumped out of his chair and was like, "That's a great idea. Let's do that. Let's do that." And I was like, "No, hold on. That's going to be cheesy as hell."
Right.
But then, we got over the whole cheese thing, and he was like, "Look, it would be cheesy if she couldn't sing, but the fact that she can sing makes it all right."
Okay. Did it feel right?
It feels right now.
Yeah.
I think, we've performed it a few times together, and we're performing it again later on for you.
Yes.
But, so it feels right now. But at the time, we were a bit like, is this the right thing to do?
Okay. It all worked out okay in the end anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got Westlifer for Life here. Wants to know, when is the next baby Egan on the way? Mystic Meg.
When is the next baby Egan on the way, guys? It depends on a lot of things.
Yeah.
It depends on a lot of things. I think if we were in a position where where none of this was going on and we weren't, releasing albums or making TV shows and all this type of stuff, we'd probably be ready to rock now. But I think there's a double-edged sword there that, we can't. It's at the minute it's like, I'm missing Koa so much.
Yeah.
I would find it really difficult to bring another baby in right now, in 9 months' time if I'm this busy. So I think it's a case of hopefully kind of seeing what happens in the next few months. And but the real answer is I would love to be sitting here by this time next year and be a few months away from having another baby. That would be my plan.
Okay. All right. It's in the works.
If the little fellas if the little dudes downstairs
if everything works out, if everything's in working order. Right. We've got Becca Casey, and she wants to know, what's the most nervous thing about a solo career?
Yeah, just completely doing it by yourself. It's like you've got nothing to fall back on apart from you. Right. You can't turn around and point the finger because you're pointing at yourself. I think, singing live vocals on TV. You've got no room to relax. You've got no room to kind of chill out. You've got to be so focused. And and I think the other thing is like, every interview you do, every place you go, it's just you. There's no rest. It's pretty full on. Like, so, it's very, very different. Very different.
You were shaking after your Late Show interview in Ireland the other night after the performance. I watched it, and you said it was more nerve-wracking than the first time you went on with Westlife.
Absolutely, because when I went on with Westlife, it was just a buzz.
Yeah.
I was on with Westlife, and it was Westlife, and it was early. I had no idea what I was at. Now I know so much about it all, and now I know how big of a deal doing the Late Show is, and it's my first ever live TV performance that I'm going, what am I doing? I'm about to go live on TV, and I landed like an hour before I actually performed, which was a disaster. Our flight was delayed, and I had to do Anton next Saturday night takeaway rehearsals on the Friday. So it was the whole thing was a bit of a rush, but I'm over it now.
Have you developed any sort of a pre-performance ritual, or do you knock back a shot of whiskey?
I just do warm-ups. My tour manager Omar makes me like lovely drinks with honey, ginger, and lemon in them.
Good work, Omar. That's good stuff. Right, we've got Adeline Shane, another Westlife fan, and she says, are you going to release your album worldwide and do a promo tour in South Asia maybe, or the Philippines? So I know you guys were so massive in Southeast Asia.
The real answer is right now, I don't know. The real answer is this has been so kind of concentrated on the UK and Ireland, obviously because that's where the record deal is. So I would love to be saying yes, and the real answer is I hope so, and the real answer is I don't know. Because
everywhere you go in Asia, anytime I've been, there's just Westlife songs. You can be in the middle of nowhere in Vietnam and
brilliant,
swear it all over again will come on. It's so weird.
It's great. It's great.
What do you think it was about you guys that?
Simple melodies. Simple melodies that everybody
easy
can sing
to
along
repeat.
to. Yeah,
worldwide.
Well, I think there's no music snobbery in Asia either. You know what I mean? They just love a good pop song. Whereas over here, we're all quite snobbish about our music.
Indeed. Okay. Right, we've got Kira at 1D Ireland 1D. Obviously a One Direction fan. She said, what was your favourite trial on I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here?
I really enjoyed the cave, where I had to climb into the cave and go through the tunnels and all that and get the stars. But, you know, I suppose the one that was the most fun was the one where they push all the water down the slide. I forget what it's called.
Yeah, you had to rescue
the five of us.
Yeah.
The five of us had to put the stars on the spot. That was probably the most fun one.
Okay. Does that seem like a lifetime ago now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. Like, it was less than 4 months ago, and I feel like it was, I don't know, it feels like it was 10 years ago. It's incredible.
I know you've got a good friendship with Joey Essex now.
Yeah.
You keep in touch with him, and you're with him in Ireland on Friday
Joey,
night.
Yeah, keep in touch with Matthew, with David, Alfonso, Vincent, Rebecca. We've seen Annabelle last week. You know, I mean, to be honest, we're all pretty much in touch. The only person I haven't really seen is Lucy, Amy, Mo. I haven't heard anything from Mo
For
at
any
all.
particular reason, there must have been someone who just wrecked your head, like being in that kind of a confined space. You've nowhere to go. There
Honestly,
must have been someone.
Not really. I mean, there was little things that would annoy you about people, but to be honest with you, not really. I mean, you know, Amy could have pulled her weight a little bit more.
Right.
Lucy could have chilled out a little bit more, you know. But a lot of the things that were going on in there, I wasn't actually aware of.
Okay.
Because, you know, I'd just be like floating on through, but they'd all be sitting over in the corner having a good old moan about whatever they were moaning about that I'm unaware that they're doing. So it's quite weird in that sense. It was only when I came out and I started watching bits of it that I was like, what? I can't believe they said that.
They were saying
you know,
that,
I couldn't believe some of the things that were being said about some of the people in there. Thankfully, none of it was me. But
yeah, ultimately that's why you won, was because you kind of sat back, you were the peacekeeper, you didn't...
Well, you know, I mean, the first week of that show, I was just like, there's so many big personalities in here. I'm not going to put a show on to try and push through these personalities. So I just chilled out and I just kind of kept that attitude the whole way through. It was just to chill out and just, you know, I'm here for the experience. I'm not here for anything else. You know, sod it, whatever happens in the way of getting voted in and out. And it's quite weird because once you get in there, you kind of stop thinking about it. You kind of think about all that stuff before you go in, but once you get in and you're 3 or 4 days in, you just kind of shut off to all of that. You know what I mean? You just kind of get on with your day.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, just there's too much time in there to overthink it all.
Okay.
Like, you're lying there for 8 hours a day going, this is great. You know, it's quite weird.
I know Caroline from Berlin, she just asked who was the most annoying person in the jungle, but you kind of
I wouldn't say anybody in particular was the
very
most...
diplomatic.
I know.
Right, we've got Marguerite O'Malley, and she says she's always wanted to know, what do the tattoos on your legs mean or represent? Are you planning on getting any
this
more?
one is a Buddha, and it's got the 4 elements around it, which is earth, wind, fire, and water.
Okay.
The ones that I have down here, I have a palm tree and a sun and a flower, which is just like, you know...
Can you show us?
Beach,
your jeans are pretty tight.
They are pretty tight.
In for a treat, girls.
They've seen them all before anyways. That's the Buddha.
Oh, I like that. Yeah,
you know, I
really
mean,
cool.
it's extensive.
That must have been quite sore in there, I'd imagine.
Wasn't too bad. It was sore enough. Then this is the other. Quite a lot of detail. That's the sun. That's the palm tree, and that's the flower. And then this is a Tibetan flower, which is my latest one.
That's amazing. When did you get that one?
I got that one last summer.
Ah, that's cool.
I'm ready for another one.
Yeah. Are they just on your legs? Have you got any?
Just on my legs.
Okay.
Just on my legs.
Are you going to just keep them on your legs?
I'm thinking in here or down here somewhere next.
Yeah. What are you thinking of next?
So when I'm playing guitar.
You're so rock and roll.
I've no idea what I'm thinking. I'm looking for ideas. So if you have any good ideas,
send them in. Send them in to Ask Kian now. We've got Fur Langford wants to know, if you could do a duet with another singer, who would you choose?
Probably Dave Grohl.
Really? I know, yeah, you're a massive
Well, you know I'm a rock fan,
yeah.
but I don't
that
think...
will come as a surprise to a lot of people, I'd imagine.
It would come as a surprise to me as well if Dave Grohl agreed to do a duet with me, but I don't know, or even like a Bryan Adams type guy. Yeah, I think Bryan Adams would be pretty cool to do something with him. I don't know. I mean, you know, a lot of my musical tastes are kind of a bit, they're quite left to centre, you know, for my audience, I suppose. I don't know. It's a bit.
Do you think you spent a lot of time singing songs that weren't necessarily in your taste?
No, not at all. I loved every Westlife song. I was very passionate about the music in Westlife. I was very heavily involved in the music choices and the song choices and everything when it came to Westlife.
Would there be any song you wish you hadn't done?
There was a few songs that were a bit cheesy. Like there was a song that we recorded one year called Tunnel of Love, which was like, it's like, yes, I'm ready to go through the tunnel of love.
Oh wow, that sounds amazing. I'm gonna look it up.
It's complete and utter cheese. And And there was a few songs like that, but not really. I think overall, a lot of the song choices that were made for Westlife were pretty good pop songs, you know.
Okay. We've got a question here. It's, what do you think of Brian McFadden now? And that comes from Brian in Dublin.
How are you, Brian? Me and Brian are actually very good friends at the minute, and we have been for the last few years.
Yeah, that's kind of long resolved, really, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, he was texting me the other day saying he was really proud of me, which I thought was very nice of him. You know, and he told me it was my time and I deserved it all after all the hard work that I did in Westlife to keep the band together for so many years.
Wow.
that I was deserving of my solo success, which I thought was really lovely. You know, it was really nice for him to say something like that. I mean, why, I don't know, but it was a lovely text. So I was like, oh, thanks, Brian.
Do you get sick of people asking, is there a chance that the five of you would ever?
It's it's understandable why it's asked, but I suppose I mean, you know, for most journalists who do the research, it's like, just look at my last answer and you get the same answer again. You know, it's like there's no talk of a Westlife reunion. As everybody knows, as everybody out there knows, there's no talk of a Westlife reunion. It's only been 2 years. Yeah. You know, I think we're so far away from even thinking about a Westlife reunion. And we spend our whole childhood together, you know. It's like it's time to be on your own and live life without Westlife and experience life without Westlife. I think that's the big thing for me, is that like I want to experience life in a real world, because when we were in Westlife, we were so protected. You know, it was like we were in this bubble that was just floating through the world, you know, in a lovely manner, and we were having so much success. And it was, I don't even know if we realised actually how much success we had. Right. So I think it's quite good for us as people, morally, to kind of not have that in our lives, and to not have that protection and understand what the real world, not that I don't think we'll ever really understand what the real world is like for most people, but to get a taste of the real world without that protection of that kind of thing, you know. Do you think One Direction are obviously finding themselves in the same sort of scenario now? Very much so. Yeah. Very, very, very much so on the same. And I've said it recently. I think they'd be fools to throw it away. Right. Absolute fools. And I get the feeling that they will. Do you think they will? Really? I don't know. I just watch them and I kind of think, you know, they don't seem to have this bond as tight as, say, we did. Especially, they're only together like 3 or 4 years. Right. Do you think, because there has been a bit of talk of a bit of a drift maybe starting, and they just took some time off, and there was that's human nature for them all to take time off. They probably needed that. And funny enough, you know, when you're in each other's lives so much like they would be at the minute, you know, that's probably really, really good for them to have that time off, you know, and then to come back together. And I know they're about to go on a tour and stuff like that. So, but no, I mean, look, I just think they'd be silly to throw it away, because you know, as we always said in Westlife, it's, you know, there's not one person that was in Westlife that was bigger than Westlife, and it's the same for One Direction. Right. What would be your best advice to them then, in terms of keeping it together and not throwing it all away? How did you to just respect each other and understand that, you know, it's a unit. It's not a bunch of individuals, you know, wanting to do what they want to do. That they've all got to kind of try and pull together and be a unit, you know, and look out for each other and protect each other and stand by each other's side in a debate with the record label or with the management, or what, you know, because I know what them things can be like. You know, it's like if you're not on the band's side or the band aren't on your side, you're really out on your own, and it can make people feel quite isolated. Okay. Do you think there might be a danger one of them might think the grass is greener, you know, like Brian did, and just say, right? Of course. I don't know if Brian thought the grass was greener. I think Brian was just, I don't know, I think Brian was probably a bit all over the place when he left Westlife. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, everybody thinks the grass is greener, and it's not. It's just not, you know. I mean, of course, we all get fed up with what we do, and that, you know, I mean, that's probably, there could be a bit of that falling in there as well, but it's not greener. Okay. The next question is from Margaret in Cornwall, and she wants to know, what's the most rock and roll thing Westlife did that you haven't spoken about before? Ooh. I'm sure there's a lot you can't say. There is a lot. There's a huge amount, but I can't really actually say, because I'd get in a lot of trouble. Oh, okay. We were pretty wild. You know that. Yeah, you often say that. Yeah, I've seen you out. Seen you out a few times. Okay, the final question. How do you celebrate Paddy's Day, apart from joining us in here, obviously, in this lovely studio? You know, normally I'd probably just be going for a few pints with my mates, or, you know, and a bite to eat or something like that. I think I'm past the kind of like going wild stuff. But yeah, so it'd be a bit more chilled out and a bit more relaxed, just kind of like, you know, St. Patrick's Day, you know, it's turned into too much of a drinking fest for me. You know, it needs to be more about just, you know, celebrating being Irish and celebrating our culture more than anything else.
Okay. Well, I know you think it's too much of a drinking fest, but on that note, we're going to have a little Guinness pouring competition.
You got to tap it.
You see, I've never done it before.
Because if you don't tap it, it's going to foam up.
I'm going to lose my passport for making an admission like that. Oh, this is already a disaster. Kian. This is going really, really well. The Irish people who can't pour a can of Guinness.
Trust the Irish.
Right. Okay, I'm just going to copy you then. I'm going to copy you.
Yeah, you really got to tilt the
We've got
beer glass.
Anyone want to drink this? Probably
not.
It looks very watery. Do you actually drink Guinness?
No.
All right, neither do I.
This is but I can pour a good pint of Guinness normally.
Okay, I've got a bit of a head. I'm quite proud of this now. Hold on. Okay. I don't know who's going to be the judge of this, but what do you think?
Mine looks like the advert.
Exactly like the advert.
Yours looks like the advert as well.
Yeah, we're doing okay.
We're not bad.
All right, cheers, Kian.
Cheers, Dal.
All right.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Everybody.
Happy St. Patrick's Day, guys. Thanks.
Slánte, as we would say.
Slánte.
Actually, that's not bad.
It's lovely. Really nice.
Nice and creamy.
I might drink the rest of it. Okay, guys, thank you for tuning in. Kian's new album, Home, is out today, and he's also going to perform a number of songs for us for Bizarre Sessions that you'll be able to catch in just a couple of days. Thanks, Kian.
Thank you, Jen.